Okay, with this video, I'm going to show you how to annotate, that is, annotate section A, and section B is going to be similar. So once you annotate A, you can annotate section B. All right, so let's get started with that. Okay, pardon me. Okay, so here I am here, section A. It's almost complete. It doesn't have the hatching, but it's almost complete. Pardon me. All right. This is the channel on top of this S shape right here. Okay. If you notice, the channel and the S shape has been placed on the S beam steel layer. Okay. Okay, the top plate, the tube steel, and the bottom plate has been placed on the S column layer. Okay. The outline of the grout here and the grout line here and the footing has been placed on the S foundation footing layer. Okay, good. Now, this channel was actually, it is a detail component. It is a detail component. I got it from Detail Component Manager. Okay, and initially it had a polyline at the perimeter. I exploded that, and I deleted this line here because this end here has a break symbol. So I'm going to make my S steel layer, my current layer, S beam steel layer, because I want the break line to be put on that layer. So I'm going to type in break line at the command line, and I'm going to zoom in kind of tightly here, okay, because it's asking me for the first point of my line. Turn my O snaps on. Okay. First point of my line is here. It's asking me for the second point of my line, which is going to be right here. And it's asking me for the location of the actual break symbol. It defaults to the middle, so I'm going to, good. So now I've created that break line, and I'll place it on the same layer as the beam itself, break line. Okay. All right, so now I'm about to dimension and annotate this section A. But now before I do that, right, I have to come down here. Before I do any annotation, I got to change my annotation scale, which I already have, right? I already have. I've changed it to 1/2 inch equals a foot right here, okay? Because that's the scale of my viewport in paper space, right? So to keep all this text 1/8 of an inch high, the annotation scale here must match the known scale of your viewport, which again is 1/2 inch equals a foot. Okay, so that's set, okay? Then I want to come over here to the annotation panel here, and I want to make sure that my text style, my dimension style, and my multi-leader style are all arch, and they are. Good. All right. What else do I need to check? Nothing else, okay? So okay, so now I'm going to place my dimensions, start with my dimensions, okay? Now, I want to place the dimensions on the S anode DIMS 002 layer. Okay, we made all these layers here, right? So for sections A and B, for notes and dimensions, you're going to be using the 0002 for DIMS, 0002 for notes. Right now we're dealing with DIMS, so that's my current layer. So I'm just going to annotate here. Okay, I'm going to do a linear dimension. Okay. Annotation scale set correctly. Got my F3 back on. Okay. So I'm going to dimension the height of this. Cool. All right. Now, I want to use the continue option of the dimension tool here. Continue right here, continue. Okay, and what that does for me, it keeps my next dimension in vertical alignment from the previous one. Because you want your dimensions to be in vertical alignment. And I'm just going to do another horizontal one. I can right click. Oh no, I don't want to continue here. Let's see. Yeah, I could just do linear here. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so now there is a line here. Okay. There is a line that actually is denoting the elevation of the top of the footing. Okay, elevation, what is that elevation? Plus 176 feet. Okay, all right. But I'm not going to add the text. You can add the text easily as B text. But I do want to share this with you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and I'm going to place that line there on the 002 note layer, note 0002. Okay, so that's my current layer. Just a line tool. Okay, come back here. Draw that line. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I want to use the grips, and I want to back that line away just a little, turn my F3 off. Okay? Because it's almost like a dimension line, and the dimension line never touches the body being dimensioned. So that's why I pulled it back a little. All right. And again, these elevation lines, one here for the top of the footing, and the other one here for the top of the floor elevation. Okay, those need to be phantom lines. So you're just going to initially draw them as lines on the 00002 note layer, and you're just going to go to properties. Okay, and you're going to change the line type to phantom. Okay, so line type right now is by layer. I'm going to change it to phantom 2. There it is. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing for the floor phantom line. Okay? I'm not going to add the text to you. You can add the text to yourself. All right. Alrighty, let's do. Okay, let's do a note. Okay. Since my note layer is active, I just do a note. So I'm coming over here to multi-leader, and I'm just going to identify the grout. Turn the F8 off so I can. Okay, and that is dimension 1/2. Non-strong curve. Okay, let's go ahead and enter that. Oops, I don't want to enter. Just want to skip. Yes. All right. Let's see. We can change how this fraction looks. Okay. Into right now it's horizontal, but we can make it diagonal. Okay. So if I just do this, okay, it looks like I'm going to edit the text. Good. And then I just highlight the fraction. Yep, just highlight the fraction like this. Okay, and then I right click, and I go down to stack properties right here, stack properties. Okay, and I change it from horizontal right here to diagonal. Okay. I'll look at it. Yes. Okay, so you see how that changed it. Okay. I highlighted the text for editing, and then I just selected the text for editing, then I highlighted the fraction, and then I right click and I chose the diagonal. Okay, good. All right, so you have that part, okay? And you can add the other notes. I want you to notice too from the sample drawing of section A that all this text, okay, all this text is left justified vertically left justified. They're all in the same point, all in the same line. So I would like for you to do that for compositional purposes. Okay, keeping all the text left justified in alignment. Okay, now, so now we are going to put in the section, the plan detail call out, right? That's looking down this way, right? So now we're going to go back to detail content browser, that is. We're going to go to call outs again. We're going to go to section marks. Okay, then we're going to go to A to T. Okay, then it's asking us for the first point of our call out. So we're going to go to the left here. Then it's asking for the next point, which is going to be here. And then we're going to enter. Okay. Okay, let's do that again. Let's skip out of that. Okay. So let's start on the opposite end. Okay. Okay. Let's start over here. Okay, then we're going to add that. Good. And then we're going to zoom in so we can see that that plan detail is pointing, the arrow is pointing downward. So that's what we want. Okay. So we're going to cancel out of this. Good. So it's attributable. Okay, so we can change our view number to, our view number is 2. Okay, then our sheet number is, of course, A-101. Okay, good. Now we want to change this because, you know, when it comes in, it brings its own layer with it, which is that layer A section identifier. But we want to change this to the note layer. Okay. The 002. Good. All right. Keeping everything blue. All right. All right. So now we've added the plan detail call out. Okay. So now we want to add the detail boundary call out up here. Okay. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do with that, we're going to go over here to tools, home tab, and we're going to go to tools. Okay, we're going to go to design tools, and we have the annotation, design annotation. So we have the annotation tab open, and here it is right there. This is what we want to choose. Detail boundary B. Good. So it's asking for the first point, first corner. It's asking for the second corner. Good. That's asking for the location of the leader line, okay, and the length of the leader line. It's good enough right there. Okay. Then we enter that. And we cancel out of that. Good. So now again, it's attributable. So this is going to be detail 1. Okay, so just so we can change the view number to 1. Let's change the sheet number. S101. Okay. Good. Okay, so now let's change all again because it brings in its own layer, but we're going to change it. So we're going to just do a crossing selection, and we're going to select all that, and we're going to change it to the note layer. .002 right here. Cool. The last thing we want to do, this boundary itself is a hidden line. All right, so what we want to do is come over here and we're going to select it. We're going to right click and go to properties. Okay. And we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to change the line like from continuous, and we're going to make it hidden too. Good. And then we're going to change the thickness of it because there's a start segment, an end segment, and a global. So we're going to change it globally. Okay, so we're going to come over here, select global, and we're going to make that 1/4 of an inch thickness. Change the width of it. Good. Good. So you see how when you change it globally, you change all the other segments as well. Okay. All right. So, and typically these detail boundaries are thicker lines so they're more visible. All right, so with that, I've given you most of what you need to do to go ahead and annotate section A. Section B is going to be simpler in terms of annotation, okay, except that it's not going to have a reference to the detail here, okay, but all the other annotations should be similar, making sure that your annotation scale is 1/2 of an inch equals 1 foot.